The 1st century AD biblical character Jesus, by some people, is thought to have been a leader of a new and rising revolution of that time, and not a spiritual Messiah who died for the sins of the world. Could this be why he became known as Jesus the Galilean, meaning Jesus the Revolutionary? Could he have been a revolutionary that Rome needed to get rid of? Could this be the actual reason why the Romans crucified him? Or, as a revolutionary, was he attempting something that maybe the ruling elite of Rome was trying to prevent? Welcome to today's video. Let's find out. King Revolutionary. The previous videos have touched upon a complex and intriguing heritage often overlooked in traditional teachings. To truly understand this heritage, one must delve into the culture of the time and location and the characters involved in the story. When examining Jesus' family, it becomes highly plausible that many of his disciples were actually his blood brothers, leading to the question of whether this was a family of revolutionaries. Additionally, evidence suggests that Jesus may have been trying to claim a throne, despite the ruling dynasty controlling the electoral process. This may have led to revolutionary actions, as Jesus was not originally allowed to compete for a ruling position. The question remains whether Jesus was seen as a king by his enemies, and whether his crucifixion was meant to make an example out of him. Jesus' birth was seen as a threat to the royal lineage of Herod, leading to the massacre of all male infants in the region. This demonstrates that Jesus was a prince of some influence within Judean society, and a legitimate contender for many thrones in the Middle East. Although Jesus may have been a revolutionary, there is a distinct contrast in the message he conveyed during his interactions with others, as depicted in the Christian Bible. While the Nazarene Church of Jesus may have sought freedom from doctrine, a closer examination of Jesus' anointing by Mary Magdalene reveals an alternative perspective. While some may argue that Mary was merely demonstrating her devotion to Jesus, it is important to note that even kings are anointed with oil at their coronations, a ritual that is traditionally reserved for men. Furthermore, in Judaism, women are not permitted to perform such rites. However, Jesus not only allowed Mary to anoint him, but he also defended her actions. Saul, enemy and woman hater. Interestingly enough, however, Saul was seeking a rigid orthodoxy. It was completely contrary to what Jesus was demonstrating. Jesus allowed a woman to perform that which is normally performed by men, whereas Saul seemingly thought women should be beneath men and not bring attention to themselves. It is Saul who said, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." It was Saul who said in a letter to Timothy, "In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array." These are tenets of Christianity which Saul, not Jesus, prescribed, and today are looked at as being holy. Nevertheless, we have postponed that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were descended from the liberal and perhaps slightly hedonistic court of Theamuse, while Saul was a former of the fire and brimstone Catholic Church, or indeed, the Puritans. Strong women and Saul's persecuting. Throughout our videos, we have highlighted women like Theamuse who embody independence and strength. She was comparable to the powerful Cleopatra VII, accustomed to wealth, dominance, and ostentatious displays. Theamuse was not one to be trifled with, as evidenced by her ability to murder her husband and marry her son, despite breaking the laws of the land. This type of strong-willed woman likely terrified Saul, who was obsequious and cowardly when faced with his superiors. The differences between Jesus and Saul as mentioned in the Christian Bible indicate that Saul was not a friend of Jesus, even after his supposed conversion. Before his travels to Damascus, when he persecuted Jesus' followers, we must ask where Saul gained the authority to do so. Was it given to him by the Romans? Did he act as a military general or police chief? His audience with the chief priest suggests that he had significant power and influence. Acts chapter 9, verse 4 and 5, KJV 4. "And he fell to the earth, and I heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? 5. And he said, Who art thou, Lord? Acts chapter 9, verse 21, LEB. Is this not the one who was wreaking havoc in Jerusalem on those who call upon his name, and had come here for this reason, that he could bring them tied up to the chief priests? On the road to Damascus, where Saul encountered Jesus in the form of blinding light, he was saved according to Christian doctrine. Therefore, some argue that Saul persecuted Jesus and his followers before his conversion. That would be doctrinally accurate. We must ask some questions though. Was Saul by himself on this road? No, the Bible mentions he had companions. Who were these companions? There needs to be a mention of their names to know who these individuals were. Nowhere in the Bible are they mentioned. So there's no witness testimony to confirm this took place. Nevertheless, his treatment and teachings towards women are after his conversion. Why does he want to treat women in such a manner? Saul's infiltration and theamuse. Saul's rejection and oppression of Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and the church they led were likely a result of their differences in doctrine and outlook. There are speculations that Saul infiltrated Jesus' organization as a double agent and that he was an agent of Rome with access to historical documents. This is significant because history is often written by the victors, and alterations to documents could conceal the true lineage and history of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Saul's fear of powerful women like theamuse influenced his attitude towards women, leading to his outlawing of sexual liberalism and his demotion of women to the role of priestly assistants. His new sect imposed strict rules on sexual union and expressed a dislike of the concept of sex and reproduction. It is possible that Jesus belonged to a royal line, but court intrigues could not be mentioned in the New Testament. These factors raise pertinent questions about the true history of Jesus and Mary Magdalene and who controlled the narrative. Talmudic references of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. The quote from the Babylonian Talmud in chapter 1 clearly demonstrates that the Judaic priesthood knew that Mary Magdalene, Jesus' sister, was a royal princess, and they were not above making fun of his royal association. Similarly, the Talmud also says in two versions of the same verse, Rabbi Meir used to say, "It is like the case of two twin brothers. One ruled over the world, the other took to robbery. The one who took to robbery was caught, and they crucified him on the cross. And everyone who passed by said, 'It seems that a king is crucified.' Our mayor said, 'A parable was stated. To what is this matter comparable? To two twin brothers who lived in one city. One was appointed king, and the other took to highway robbery. At the king's command, they hanged him. But all who saw him exclaimed, 'The king is hanged.' Whereupon the king issued a command, and he was taken down." The reference to a twin brother who became a revolutionary and was crucified just has to be a covert reference to Jesus and his twin brother Judas Thomas, especially as the passers-by thought that this man on the cross was a king of the Jews and that he was taken down from the cross. This suggestion is reinforced by the commentary on the crucifixion that is recorded in the Quran, where a similar swapping of one twin for another takes place. The Quran says, "They declared, 'We have put to death the Messiah, Jesus the son of Mary, the messenger of God.' But they did not slay him, nor did they crucify him, because he was made to resemble another for them." The theory proposes that it was actually Judas, the twin known as the robber who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, that was crucified instead of Jesus. The reference to Judas ruling over the entire world suggests a secular rather than a religious authority, making him a king rather than a prophet. Additionally, if Jesus was connected to theamuse, he would have been a prince of Rome, Parthia, and Egypt, which could have provided him with the basis to claim the title King of the World. As we close this chapter of exploration into the intriguing enigma of Jesus, his potential as a revolutionary, his clash with the orthodoxy, and the enigmatic figures that surround him, stay tuned for our upcoming video. Delve even deeper into the mysteries that history has veiled and uncover revelations that challenge the narratives of the past. Join us on this captivating journey as we unveil more layers of the captivating story that shaped our world. Subscribe now and prepare to embark on a new chapter of discovery where history's secrets come to light in ways you never imagined. Don't forget to comment, like, and share. Until next time.